Alright guys, welcome to, I don't know what the hell to call this segment, but yeah, much like I did in non-comic characters I could see being possessed by the Phoenix Force or controlling the darkness and wielding the Witchblade, I decided what characters would be cool to see wielding the power of Thor's hammer. Remember, whomever holds this hammer, whether he or she be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. So who could wield the power of Mjolnir? Who could wield this kind of power, and who could who could control it? Who would the hammer deem worthy? I have a few characters here that I think the hammer would find worthy to wield. First off, Jon Snow. Yeah, Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. I feel like Jon would be considered worthy because he's done a lot, he's done a few things, but it's all in the name of honor. Mostly, let me rephrase that, he's mostly done a lot of things in the name of honor, and he's always been, he's always wanted one thing, the best for House Stark, especially when you see that ending for Season 6. So more than likely, a lot of the Starks really could probably wield the hammer. Even, Arya and Sansa could probably pick up the hammer. Remember, it's not limited to just guys. We obviously have a female Thor, so duh. So yeah, I think what would be cool is if you had Mjolnir's power wielded by, I think Jon Snow would be considered worthy right out the gate. Jon Snow, if Robb Stark were still alive, Robb and Ned were still alive as well, they'd probably be considered worthy as well. But yeah, Jon Snow, definitely. I could see him wielding the power of Thor. Could you imagine that? That'd be awesome. And he still would know nothing. Anyway. What was I going to say? So next up, in terms of characters I think could wield Thor's hammer, is Gohan from Dragon Ball Z. Now, Goku probably could wield the hammer, but why I think Gohan would probably be more qualified, and probably the hammer would find him more worthy to wield his power, is because Gohan is a pure warrior. What I mean is, he's a warrior, but he's pure of heart, much like Goku, but Goku loves fighting more than Gohan. Gohan doesn't like to fight right out the gate. And I think the hammer would respect that and find that a certain level of worthiness. Could Goku pick up the hammer? Probably, but Goku sometimes lets his love of fighting get in the way. And, to be considered worthy to Mjolnir, it's not just, how many people can you hit? It's more like, if the hammer finds you, there's good in you. There's pure good in you. And yes, there is pure good in Goku, but I think the hammer wouldn't go up for him because, he's more, Goku's kind of done some stuff that has caused a little problems in in the past, like letting Frieza get to 100% just so he could fight him. You remember that? Namek was, fucked from the get-go, but really, you could have ended this real quick here, Goku. That's just one time. There's a few other times here and there, especially if you read the manga and the original Japanese cut. Anyway, but yes, Goku would be worthy, but I feel like Gohan would be, Gohan, his love of nature, his love of, his family, and, his, he doesn't like to fight right out the gate, but when he does, oh boy, does he do it. Again, I'm kind of peeved that, he can barely go into Super Saiyan, and he kind of lost his spirit form, and it's been downtoned. But I'm glad in Super, at least, he's gone back to Piccolo to train. At least that's where I left off on Super. Anyway, that could have changed. But yeah, Gohan with Goku probably in second place. Vegeta probably not. Vegeta probably could, you could say, but Vegeta's super powerful. Yeah, but he's done a lot of dirty shit in the past that hammer ain't coming up for him. It doesn't matter how strong you are. The Hulk can't pick up the hammer. Juggernaut. Iron Man. A lot of good hero. Well, Juggernaut's not really a hero these days. But what I mean is, there's a lot of heroes in the Marvel Universe that have never been able to wield the hammer. So it doesn't matter how good, how much of a hero you are, if the hammer doesn't find you worthy, you ain't picking up this hammer. And remember, Vegeta's done some horrible shit in the past. You guys remember the Buu saga? You guys remember the Saiyan saga? Yeah. That shit ain't going away for Vegeta. It's not going away for Vegeta. So he can try all he might, but he ain't picking this up. And it's not because, you're not a Vegeta. I am a Vegeta fan. I'm just saying I don't think Vegeta would be able to wield the hammer, but it would be funny as hell to watch him, go Super Saiyan God, and he's just trying to get it off the ground. He's like, Kakarot! Come on! Give me a hand here, I can feel it wiggling! Anyway, so there you go. Gohan and Goku for wielding the hammer. Anyway, so moving right along to other characters. Odd one, but I think Wendy from Gravity Falls would be considered worthy. She's a strong fighter, she's very confident in herself, and, you know, she looks out for her friends and family first and foremost. You know, she's a survivor, and plus we got a Lady Thor right now, so this isn't totally out of the question, so I think, if anything, yeah, she could probably pick up the hammer. Stan couldn't. Stan would be, like, in the back of his truck going, you got it? You got it hooked up, Dipper? Bumper comes off. Did we get it? Shit. Anyway, so there you go. Wendy would definitely, I think Wendy would be able to pick up the hammer. Odd one, but I feel like Wander from Wander Over Yonder would also be another character who could pick up the hammer. Wander could probably wield the hammer. He's pure as hard as they could go. So Wander could probably pick up the hammer, but it'd be more like he's going to use it to like hammer nails or something for a refugee home or something like that. That's what he would probably do. Yeah. Also, it would be hilarious to watch Lord Hader try to pick up the hammer and just pop his arms off. He'd be like, "Peepers, Peepers, I think I got it. Boom, Peepers, it happened again." Oh man, I'm having too much fun with this. Among other characters, I think... You see, I don't know, because I wanted to say Thorin Oakenshield from from Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit mostly. But I don't know, like, well, if you go by the original novel, Thorin wasn't really possessed by dragon sickness, not necessarily in the original novel. All he wanted to do was, have his people come back to his home. So I think, if anything, yeah, Thorin would, if we go novel-wise, I think Thorin would be able to wield, Thorin Oakenshield would be able to wield the hammer. Same with Aragorn. I think Aragorn from Lord of the Rings would be able to wield the hammer. There's a few other... Steven, probably. Steven and Garnet. I think Garnet would be able to pick up the hammer. I don't know about Pearl and Amethyst, though, but I think Garnet would be able to wield it. Steven, Connie, maybe. Connie as well. Connie would also maybe be able to pick up the hammer as well. Finn, I think, would be well, I don't know if... Finn's a maybe for me. Finn's a maybe because he's done a few some little dirty shit in the past. So, yeah. But I think Finn, yeah, maybe Finn from Adventure Time. I should have said that right out the gate. I think Finn from Adventure Time would be able to wield it. Arrow and Piper from Stormhawks would both be able to wield Thor's hammer. I think the hammer would consider them both worthy. And there's a few other characters, but I'm going to leave it off to here. So you guys tell me, what characters could you see Mjolnir considering worthy enough to pick it up? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.